My name is Alexa Sanchez. My father has been scammed badly twice. This has been going on since 2014. He's continued speaking with another individual, and he was most recently scammed for about $14,000.
What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com. On today's episode, we speak to Alexa and her father Gary from Santa Barbara. Alexa reached out to us after her dad was scammed out of over $100,000 by multiple fake profiles. Gary continues to message these women daily through Facebook Messenger and feels that his daughter is intruding on his privacy. Let's see if we can help these two out. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
So my dad has been married twice. He was married once when he used to live on the East Coast. She would cheat on him every night, go out and party, so it didn't work out. He met my mom originally in LA. He had a little bit of dating after the divorce. He hadn't had anything really serious or really good.
After being cheated on in his first marriage, Gary went through another divorce with Alexa's mother. That's when he turned to online dating.
My dad first met his first scammer on a dating site called Zoosk. The one I had been hearing the most about was Jennifer Stoller. The second was also Nancy, so he's been talking to her for about 8 years. My dad has had tremors his entire life. I never noticed them as a child, but the diagnosis is called essential tremors. His grandfather also had Parkinson's disease. I check my dad's messages on a daily basis because I want to know that he is not being manipulated into sending more money.
After receiving this message from Alexa, Gary agreed to come on camera to break down how he was defrauded out of his life savings. He needed answers and closure on how this happened to him.
Within like a couple of days, I got 2 calls from 2 really nice girls, and I found out that they not on the computer or online, they had found my phone number on Zoosk and called me on the phone. I was having for months chit-chat with one or the other, back and forth, just kind of getting to know each other. And then I finally said, you know what, I like both of these girls. I need to choose one and stick with her.
Like, it's so ridiculous. So there's this one like softcore picture where she's like by a Christmas tree. You know, when you text all the time, you're on the internet all the time, guys and girls type and say things differently. Like the way that this person types, even though they're clearly not like American and they have bad English, like it's like the way a dude types. It's just like a difference. I think it's a dude.
In 2014, Gary felt he had to make a choice between Jennifer and Nancy. He was more attracted to Jennifer, so he decided to pursue her. The two would text each other day in and day out, and Gary even planned to marry her.
Jennifer I was in love with, and I'd do anything for her. I'd send her checks, MoneyGrams, Western Union, you name it, to help her. She was always stuck in Nigeria with no money in her pocket, getting robbed or getting attacked or getting you name it.
I mean, if I was in love with someone, I still wouldn't like send that much money because like I know they're just
different. Like, everybody's different.
I know, because I know they're just taking advantage of me. But it's like he was the hypnotized one, not me. So I don't fully like get his perspective all the way that he felt. But I think, I mean, it's affected our relationship. Look, we were just fighting right now and we butt heads over it, and I hate it. I just want it to be like before he even got involved in online dating.
I know it, but the problem is because you became a control freak and you started to control every bloody aspect of my life. I don't like it.
From 2014 to 2015, Gary had sent over $100,000 to Jennifer. The money was for bills, food, and plane rides she never got on. The list goes on and on.
Jennifer scammed me out of $100,000 estimate. I didn't keep records. I just estimate, and I didn't have enough money to pay my property taxes and all that. I had to sell my house.
My boyfriend, who's actually better with he's kind of like you guys. He's really good at internet stuff. He removed WhatsApp from my dad's phone, and he changed some function so that my dad couldn't download it in the future. My only question is, have you found a way to download it back?
I've never used the computer for financial.
No, WhatsApp. Did you get WhatsApp back on your phone?
No, after he deleted it.
In 2019, Gary had sent so much money to Jennifer, he wasn't able to pay his bills. He had to sell his home and move to Solvang.
Then I moved to Solvang from Lompoc. I said goodbye to Jennifer. And I said, well, I'll put my energy into Nancy. She called me every single day for years, every day.
This is when Nancy came back into the picture. Gary was about to fall right back into another scammer's hands. Nancy had been waiting for years. She would call Gary every day since 2014, waiting patiently for Gary and Jennifer to stop speaking.
So I'm trying not to be judgmental, but
You're very judgmental.
Okay. After a while, I'm like, this is such I would tell everyone, and they're like, oh my God, what's wrong with your dad? Why does he believe this?
I was hypnotized. I was literally hypnotized by her.
Although Gary had already been scammed out of his retirement fund and home to Jennifer, Nancy had even more tricks up her sleeve. She told Gary about her dad's $4.8 million estate that she was going to inherit. All she needed was $150 from Gary for the setup fee.
She goes, oh, I had to take care of some business of my father who passed away in England. She allegedly flew to England, took care of her father's property there because he had recently deceased.
Nancy promised to split all the profits from her dad's estate with Gary. Gary was even in contact with Nancy's lawyer. The $150 setup fee started to increase, and in order to claim the estate, Nancy's lawyer told Gary he would have to pay more money and he needed to be married to Nancy. Gary ended up shoveling out an additional $7,000 through a certified check to a man named Alan, who Nancy claimed was her uncle. Gary also wire transferred $5,000 to a Turkish bank account. This put him even further in debt.
I'm like, you've worked so hard your whole life. This is all your money.
But here's the thing. You think you're in love with someone. You're going to try to bring them home, probably get married, all this stuff. I kept telling her with Jennifer, I was in love with her. You will pay whatever the airfare is. You bring her from Lagos, Nigeria. You'll pay for the hospital when she had malaria. You do all these things because you love her and you want to bring her home. That's why. So there was no lid. There was no cap ceiling on how much money I was going to spend on her. I loved her that much. I was just hypnotized by her. So I get another call, and this one is customs. I don't know if it was U.S. Customs or French Customs or who they were. But then now they wanted $50,000 to transport the 10 suitcases full of cash to my apartment here in California.
Nancy's lawyer, Leo, handled all the negotiations for the money that Gary sent. Every time Gary felt like he was getting closer to helping Nancy get her dad's estate, there was some other fee that popped up. After all the fees were paid, Leo told Gary that he would put all of Nancy's father's money in 8 suitcases, and they would be delivered to his door by mail. But the suitcases were stopped by customs, and he needed to pay another fee.
So it's like I said, money on top of money on top of money. She never came, never showed up.
In my opinion, it should be about moving on and making peace because it's all so ambiguous. I don't like spying. I don't go through my mom's phone. I don't go through my boyfriend's phone. I think it's wrong, but I think that sometimes it's justified.
It's not justified, ever. Do you guys out there in the audience, do you like being spied on by your in-laws or your children? No, you don't. You don't. Have them go through your phone, have them go through your computer, look, spy, look for trouble. I don't like it. I tell her I don't like it, stop doing it.
Gary is a great father to his daughter Alexa, a hard worker with a master's degree who provided for himself and his family even through the hardships of 2 failed marriages. Taking advice from his 27-year-old daughter was difficult for him.
I'm sorry, Dad. It's like, I don't want to argue with you either. It's like, it not ruined, but like it's affected our relationship for sure.
I'm paranoid to even date a woman because you're gonna tell me she's a scammer. She's asking me. I don't want to date anybody with you knowing it.
Well, I can tell who's like full of who isn't. A lot of it's obvious.
But Lexi, that's the thing. I don't check up on you. I don't check your phone, see who you're talking to. I don't check your computer, see who you're talking to. Why do you insist on trying to control my life?
Because of
No, there is no because.
Because of the scamming.
There is no cause. I told you several times to stop it.
Okay.
Gary is still in contact with Nancy through Facebook even after being scammed twice. His daughter monitors all of his social media and banking information. She has great respect for him and just doesn't want him to get scammed again.
Let's see, I estimated about around 100,000 for Jennifer, and then I guess around 20,000 total if you count all the airfare and everything else, and Nancy. So it'd be about 120,000 total between the two of them.
Nancy has now been communicating with Gary through this Facebook. She claims her nickname is Oyardo. The fact that he hasn't blocked Nancy and moved on is what alarms Alexa and keeps her monitoring his accounts. Till this day, he swears he hasn't sent any more money to anyone online.
Like, Dad, I don't want to be bossy. It's just like,
I know, but sometimes you just get out of control and irritate me.
We knew we had our work cut out for us. It wasn't long before we decided to visit Gary and Alexa in person. We knew we needed to give them the closure they deserved. We decided to travel to Santa Barbara and see how we could stop all of this. As we traveled through Santa Barbara to Solvang, we noticed how remote this town really was. It had to be difficult to connect with people with common interests. Solvang has a population of 6,300 people. Could this be the reason Gary is so set on online dating? Let us know in the comment section. Stick around until the end. Our team will meet Gary in person.
Hi, Gary.
Wow, hi, Gary.
We'll take a look at Gary's personal messages.
This Colleen Kelly, she just popped up.
Look, even after sending $100,000, Gary, you're continuing to reach out to these girls that you know and hopefully get rid of all these scammers that are trying to contact Gary. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
Hi, Gary.
Wow, hi, Gary.
How's it going?
How you doing? All right.
I'm Brienne. Nice to meet you.
It's still earlier in the day, so does he look himself? Fine.
Chris, nice to meet you.
You look the same as
Yeah.
you do.
Drew,
Ready?
nice to
Fine.
meet you, man.
Come on.
Okay.
He hadn't had any visitors since his best friend passed away. He even offered us a beer, but Gary, we're on the clock.
Well, there aren't many people, but instead of people, what we have here are cookies and pancakes.
It's even
Oh,
better.
gosh.
So, as a bachelor, you date a pancake or a cookie almost every week. Yeah, my other house I had to sell because I got scammed. All my savings went. I had to sell my house.
Yeah.
It's the house was like an art museum. Art collections everywhere.
Really?
Wow.
Gary showed off all of his beautiful art in his home, but couldn't help but think about his beautiful house that he had to sell after being scammed by Jennifer.
I took so many paintings. I put as many on the walls here as I could, and both closets are full of paintings.
Wow.
Alexa showed up and it was time to get to work. She was really worried about Gary's Facebook DMs. There was a lot of women reaching out to him. He just needed some pointers on how to stay safe online.
No, a lot of them just pop up on their own. Thank you for requesting me. And I don't know who requests them, they just pop up. This Colleen Kelly, she just popped up.
So what this person is, it's a robot. So they're saying, where are all the guys? Come and get me.
Oh, I know.
So
I know it's all bullshit.
you never want to click this link
I
here.
know. And they're like Ariani, who's she? They show up and they thank you for inviting them onto your computer when you never even heard of them. So I don't know how or why they do that. Cute, huh?
It's something to look. It's something to look at, bro.
Let's just say we're men. We have eyes.
This is all I'm saying is all these girls are something to look at for sure. But
I know their face.
you're gonna look even after sending $100,000, Gary. You're continuing to reach out to these girls that you know.
I'm not reaching out to them.
Do you believe that these girls are real?
Well, they're real, but they're not They're not who they say they are. With this one, Kayla, actually was a real person who responded.
She wanted him to send her money directly via PayPal to Uber up here, and I said, if she wants to come up here, we'll pay the Uber directly. She wanted $500 for a camera, and I said, we video chat for free all the time. You know, I put a stop to it. He was very angry, but I'm like, you know, it's worth it.
I wasn't angry that you stopped it. Just angry that you just once again invoke yourself into my life. That's what I was angry about.
So Kayla, you think is real?
Kayla's real.
And then we'll run some searches on some of these girls too, Grant.
You won't like her. You won't like her. Here's Kayla.
That's Kayla.
That's Kayla.
Do you think she's real? Honestly?
I think she's real. I think we talked to her.
What makes you feel like she's real?
I guess the fact that she actually responded.
So the fact that she talked back.
Yeah.
But Oyardo, Nancy, and Jennifer all talked back though, and they were fake.
Oyardo, almost 99% of it was text. Jennifer.
You talked to her on the phone?
There's the phone on the page.
Yeah.
That I would talk on, but usually they're not there to answer the phone. This one right here. Scammer.
Agent Larry John, what's he talking about?
He's the guy that was giving out thousands of dollars to people who ever want them. And he wanted to contact me to give it, so I give it my bank account so I can put money in it. Kiss my ass.
So is there any girls currently that you're talking to that you feel like might be real?
No.
All of them are fake?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Only my family and friends are real.
After looking through Gary's messages, he really opened up to us about why he entertains these women online. Outside of being scammed, do you enjoy being on the internet?
There was one girl I dated. She was from Bakersfield, and she met me at a winery. This was back about 2014. She met me at a winery in San Luis Obispo, and she looked like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I had a picture on mine. And so all of a sudden I see this girl, I go, "Are you Buffy?" She goes, "Yeah, you Gary?" "Yeah." So we get a couple glasses of wine, and she goes, "What's wrong with your hand?" My left was worse than my right. "What's wrong with your hand?" I go, "I got Parkinson's, a neurological disorder." She goes, "That really bothers me."
So when's the last time you've been on like a decent date?
It's been over 20 years.
20 years without a date has to suck. Gary loved going to the gym, but after being diagnosed with Parkinson's 4 years ago, he can't run or exercise. His condition has really affected his life. We feel that this plays a big part in why he was scammed. We knew the first thing we had to do was get rid of any thought Gary had left about Nancy being who she really says she is.
Found these profiles all over the internet, fishing for dates, and she's talking to other men online. We have screenshots here of her talking to a man named Alex. We also have a screenshot of her talking to someone named John, and the list goes on. We found this online. It's another internet scam back in 2014, same exact name. This blog just goes on to tell you about how this person's been used in multiple scams. So something we had found out was this same exact template has been used in other scams. So this is the one that was sent to you. It's for the 4.8 million. See up top here, you can see Ghana Commercial Bank. Same exact template here, different bank, different info, different name. So that's just something that they're passing around.
Every day, this woman contacted me. It was always sex. Every single day for almost 8 years.
Wow.
The scammers behind Nancy and Jennifer's profile used a lot of sexual tactics on Gary. Nancy has now moved away from being Oyardo and is now claiming to be this woman, and also says she is a 37-year-old version. This woman looks nowhere near 37 years old. This is a normal tactic scammers use. Once you find the real person in the photos, they will change their face. What do you think about everything that we found after looking at, some of the information that Brienne pulled?
I believe anything's possible with these people. Yeah. And as I was saying a little bit earlier, he pretty much met my expectations. The only thing for me that would make it totally satisfying would be the exposure of all these individuals, Alan, Nancy, the barrister, all of them. So we know the face, the name, who they are, so that everyone in the world can see them. And so that just in case there's 1% of my brain that goes, maybe.
We used the tools on our site to verify each of these women that Gary was in contact with. Oyardo, aka Nancy's photos, were actually photos of a woman named Kelly. Jennifer, the woman that stole Gary's retirement fund, were really just stolen photos of a model named Elena Busina. Kelly, who Gary was chatting with through Facebook Messenger, are actually photos of a model named Danielle Ayala. Ariani was another woman that Gary was chatting with through Facebook Messenger. Her images were stolen from a model named Yulette Torres. All of the women in these photos are victims too, and their images were stolen to dupe Gary out of money. They have nothing to do with this scam. So I don't think there's anything wrong with you dating online. Well, I mean, as long as you're not sending or receiving money, right? Mm-hmm. I think your daughter's in your business a lot because she cares about you, right? And it's justified. 100. We think it's justified, and we also care about you.
We definitely want to encourage you to be independent and, to search people online. I know you mentioned you're not going to date anymore online, but should you meet a friend, we want to offer you a free subscription on socialcatfish.com where you can run searches anytime you meet someone, to help you verify if this person is real.
I want to thank you for helping me with this. You guys showed genuine interest, so all of you just 100% authentic. Yeah. I really appreciate that, and I feel better inside. Like we found out some things that we now know. There's no doubt about it. The girl, if it's a girl, is a scammer.
We want to say we're proud of you for blocking her, moving forward, and I think it's going to be a big step for you, even with having the tools and stuff. We felt Gary was vulnerable to scams because he lived in a remote location and his past relationships. Yes, his expectations are a little too high, but all he needed was some guidance and tools. He is now taking a break from online dating. If he does choose to start back up, we left him with all the tools to date safe online. Gary promises to never send any more money to anyone online. Thanks for watching another episode of Scamfish, everyone. Remember, new videos go out every Wednesday. If you or anyone else you know might be going through a scam, please send an email to sharemystory@socialcatfish.com. See you guys next week.